Welcome everyone here to the Smash Evening Show right here on Smash FM here on a late Thursday night here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across to our friends over in the US, and it's great to have this music artist back on the show. It's been a while since we've had this particular one on the show because she's come to us from Jersey in New York, and in Jersey, I should say, in New Jersey, not in New York. Of course, her name is Erin McAndrew. She joins us right now. Thanks, Erin, for joining us again.
Thanks so much for having me back. I know it's been a little bit.
Tell us a bit about the year so far, as we're now almost 2/3 of the way through the year.
So it's kind of been a whirlwind of a year. Personally, we we've for I've been gigging, but I've kind of been like I haven't been for the past like probably month and a half because I'm due to have another child in a few weeks. My husband and I just bought a house earlier this year, so like that was a whole other thing. So there's been a lot of personal goals that have happened this year. And then I can't remember if I've talked about this in the last interview, but I have started to, well, I guess now it's been almost 3 years. I have gone into the industry of voiceover. So I've been
Sure.
very active with that as well. And that's been really fun. And I've been able to do some singing stuff as well within voiceover. So that's kind of been really fun to be able to mesh both of my passions together for that. So it's been an eventful year for sure.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned about voiceover because that was what I was going to ask in the next question. So
Yeah.
tell us a couple of the ones that you've done this year, and what was your favorite one?
So I've been doing a lot of explainer videos recently. So that's basically like, educational kind of videos. I've done, there's a few like ones I've done for like real estate, like living communities and whatnot. Um, and then I'm trying to think, there's actually this one was probably my favorite. It was kind of the end of last year, beginning of this year, but it was singing kids songs, voiceover kid songs. So that one was really fun. Um, so yeah, so some of that, and then a lot of like little radio commercials actually, um, which is actually I don't know if you know this or I've like talked about this in the past, but I actually that was when my major in college was radio. So it's kind of not super surprising that I eventually ended up in this industry again. Um, because I did do that in college. So the radio promos and radio spots come very naturally to me. So those ones are always really fun to do because you have like a time you have to meet and it's kind of like a game, as I'm sure you know, where it's like getting that commercial in this
Mhm.
amount of time and still making it sound natural. So that's kind of like a fun challenge that I really like with those ones.
So how do you do like a voiceover and then singing during the voiceover? How do you do that? Because obviously, if I tried it, I don't think it will work.
Yeah, so I mean, most of the time, if I'm doing a singing one, it's pretty much just singing. I've done like definitely some auditions with jingles, um, but I don't know. I think it just comes natural because I'm a singer. So it's like a lot of the times with those ones, they'll send me what I need to know or learn, and then I just learn it and sing it. So I mean, it's not much different than like learning a song that I'm going to play at a gig. It's just something that's, for radio or for whatever project I'm working on.
When you get to listen in the car, obviously I'm shooting on the radio,
Yeah.
and you hear your voice coming over, the reaction of, oh, that's actually, I did that one.
Well, that hasn't happened yet
Oh,
because it's a lot of it's a lot of regional stuff that I'm doing. So some of the clients that I work with are in like Canada, or or even overseas. So it kind of depends. Like I haven't had anything local yet. So that's something that's I'm definitely going to work towards down the road because there is a lot of opportunity around here for that. Um, but that I think that would be really cool. I mean, I did in college work for the radio station there, so I did used to hear some of the work I did there, which was that's always still pretty cool. But yeah, not yet. Hopefully down the road.
Okay. Okay. I might revisit that question when we do our next one.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about your gigs that you've done this year. Tell us the gigs that you've done. I'm assuming that mostly be around Jersey.
Yeah, so I've been staying mostly in Jersey, just because it's more convenient for me, where I'm at with my, family life and whatnot. I have a 4-year-old, so I don't like to take gigs that are too far away. Um, but I have been doing some like private events this year, which is fun. Like I did a baby shower, I did a Christmas party last year, so it's like fun to do those kind of gigs too. um but yeah, mostly New Jersey. This year I played a lot of the same places I've played in the past. I play a lot of like South Jersey, so those are always fun because it's beach towns and whatnot. So yeah, so it's been fun. Um, and then I'm kind of on hiatus for I was pretty much June until end of September, and then that's when things kind of start picking up again.
Now we're coming across to the US. As I spoke to you prior to doing this interview. So let's
Yeah,
just say I'm over in New York, and obviously I'm coming across to Jersey on my way to Philly and or on the way back from Philly.
yeah.
Um, where will I be hoping to see play on my way back or on the way?
So I'm playing a lot in Cape May, New Jersey, in October. So that is like the southernmost tip of New Jersey. So it's not exactly like I would say it's probably 3.5 hours from New York, and then maybe 2.5, 3 hours from Philly, maybe less. But that's kind of what my sweet spot. Play a few different wineries down there, but it's a beautiful area, and there's the wineries themselves are beautiful. The wine is really good. So that's kind of like my sweet spot of where I like to play, but it's a nice part of Jersey. Yeah.
Well, let me know. You might need
Yeah.
to let me know, and um, when obviously when we get there. So,
Yeah, we'll see if the dates sync up.
correct. Now, as you mentioned, you love performing in wineries. Obviously, when we first had you on the show, I think, whenever you were over in the West Coast, you played a lot
Yes.
over there.
Yep.
Um, Now you're over in the East Coast and performing at wineries over there. Is there one particular one? Obviously, you don't want to single anyone out. So obviously, um, but is there? Okay, maybe give us a top 5 wineries that you've played.
Yeah, I mean, so there's the two that I play in Cape May. So there's one called Jesse Creek Winery. I really, really enjoy playing there. The staff is wonderful. Everyone is super nice. The wine is really good. The clientele that comes in is really nice. So there's that one. There's Cape May Winery. I really like playing that one. Then there's a distillery that I play at, called Blue Rascal Distillery. That one's really nice. I only play there once or twice a year, just because they have a lot of musicians that they love that they try and book there. So it's only every once in a while that I get on that schedule. And then I would say probably that's top three. And then I have like some other ones sprinkled throughout that, I'm working that I play every once in a while. Um, and then I'm always looking for new ones. Now that where my husband and I got a house is like very, very close to the beach. So I will be looking next year to play at a lot of those places because that's obviously very convenient for me. And also it's just a fun atmosphere to be playing near the ocean in the summertime. So
Going to have a newborn very soon, and then obviously you're going to
yes.
be jumping straight back into performing again.
Yeah.
I guess when you had your first one, did you do something similar? And do you think that has kind of worked going to the second? Obviously, hopefully, after you have your second one.
Well, the first one, I know because it was COVID.
Oh,
So yeah. So yeah, I lost pretty much all of my gigs. But I was planning on pretty much kind of similar timeline. I kind of gave myself a month and then was going to jump back into it, and then everything kept getting canceled. So he was probably about my son was probably about 4 5 months by the time I actually went back to gigging in California. Yeah, this time it's going to be much earlier. It's like one of those things where I had a lot of this stuff booked already like a year ago. So I kind of don't, I want to uphold, I already had to cancel a few because obviously it's not the ideal time to play right now.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have September at the end of September, and then I don't play until like mid-October. So, I figured it, I think the fact that I kind of, even last time though, I was doing a lot of Patreon stuff, even though we weren't playing live gigs, and I was able to play pretty much right away. Um, so I'm not too worried about jumping back in and playing again. And it's not something that I do every single day. So it will be, I think it'll be something that'll be good. And, I may just have to take it a little easier than I normally do when I'm playing. So.
Now we'll finish with this last one for people that should follow you on the socials. As I always ask this question, how can I go about it, Erin?
Yeah, so I am on Instagram at I am Erin McAndrew. I'm on Twitter, X, I guess. I
Yes.
think people still call it Twitter or X. It's the same handle. I am Erin McAndrew. I'm not as active on there as I used to be. So Instagram is kind of the place to find me most times. Yeah, and I don't have like TikTok or anything like that. I have Facebook, but I'm not active on that one either. So Instagram is the place.
Yeah. Well, Erin, it is awesome to have you back on the show. And obviously, I know you got a very busy schedule, even a busier one, obviously, with your newborn, which we want to congratulate you and your family
Thank you.
um, on. So, can't wait to hopefully get to see you over there when we're over in the US in 2 months'
Yeah.
time, and
Yeah.
hopefully we get to catch up in person.
Yeah, that sounds great. I thank you so much for having me back.
No worries, and that's Erin Andrew there. Join us there, because Ashley says you'll be back performing again in late September. Because we'll put the details up on her next performance there. There's more on the Smash Evening Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.